Good evening, gentlemen. Puppy Line Network here with the best things I wish people had told me when I started off as a pub officer. Now, to clarify, this is not a tutorial video. No amount of bookworming will teach you how to be an officer. It has to be learned with experience, and the best way to do that is by being a good NCO or a good flag bearer, or both. It never hurts to be both. Officers, they make up the whole game. They can be the difference between whether you have the greatest gaming moment of your life or whether the game sits untouched in your Steam library for the next 2 weeks. They're also the guys that can make or break a match. Everyone has a different way as to how they approach a match, but the nature of the game does not change. Everyone wants to be an officer, but also everyone is just disgruntled by how brutally punishing it is. Like, have you ever gotten to a match and you just make your first bad call and suddenly nobody likes you? It's happened to everyone at some point, so don't shy away. I'm going to start off with some more self-explanatory unspoken rules first. Before you ever start as an officer, you have to get your charisma bar as high as it'll go. If you're hopping in for your first time, you have to get in there and at least look like you know what you're doing. So when you're getting started as an officer, you're probably pissing your pants and tapping your feet at the speed of light. Because you just walked up there and you saw the enemy army and suddenly you're hit with the realization that you have no clue what you're doing. This is where high charisma is required as an officer. If you can't lead yourself, you are not ready to lead anybody else. Your job as an officer is not just about strategy, it's about putting on a good show for your men. Morale is crucial to your company's overall experience and success. If you're slurring your words and blaming all your problems on your individual men, shit's gonna start to fall apart pretty quickly. You are in charge of your company's morale, and if your men are sluggish and unresponsive, then it's none other than your own fault. This falls in closely with charisma again. If you can't lead yourself, then you're not going to be leading anybody anytime soon. Sometimes it's better to go with the plan you've been given on the fly rather than get pissy with the other officer. Even if you think it's the dumbest shit you've ever heard. The most harmful thing you can possibly do with your team is waste time and cause a divide in leadership. You can always play along and do it your own way. You don't have to get all pissy and go and do your own thing, because then it's going to be on you. What can make you end up as one of the most despised officers is that if you're having a bad day as an officer, and that will happen, and you don't know when to sit the hell down, that will get you a bad rep pretty quickly. So be humble and don't end up like Brit. Concentration of force or firepower is crucial if you're trying to hold formation or beat back an enemy force. If you're in a firefight and your company has more than one target in front of you, don't let your men get confused between targets, or it's going to significantly decrease your company's effectiveness. If you're in a firefight with a larger company on your flank, it is crucial that you target the smaller companies first. Let the big company deal with the big company and let the small company deal with the small company. If you're facing artillery, you need to reposition either way. If you have 20 men and you are isolated, engaging a larger company will lead to the enemy beating you back and using the opportunity to push you up. More aggressive officers like Viceroy and Flores will use an opportunity like that to wipe your team altogether, and it will be on you. If you are in charge of the largest company on the team, you are the one in charge. Position yourself so that your allies are fighting the fair fight. Fire maneuvering is a commonly used real-world military strategy. There's an emphasis on this portion if you're an officer of a Sharps company or a cavalry company. Before you fall back or advance, you want to make sure your company will be ready and complacent with your orders. If you move too frequently, you will slowly lose your company to Rambos and low levels that like to wander off. Some of this comes down to playstyle, but you always want to be maneuvering near or around friendlies, whether you're in a firefight or not. If you're in a dense area like West Woods, then you want to be listening intently. Enemy bugles will give away positions of enemy companies, and if the field goes quiet, it either means A, the enemies are listening and are already positioned to attack you, or B, your enemies are on the move. If you're not confident about your company's position, then your inner gut is telling you correctly. Making preemptive actions will not hurt as long as you advise friendlies beforehand. And that will be all for this Tuesday. Please make sure to subscribe if you enjoy my videos, or drop a like if you enjoy this type of content. The comment section is wide open for suggestions or ideas about future videos. And this is Puppy Line Network signing off.